Welcome back to another video, traders, and if you're new to the channel, welcome to Tesla Trends. I'm TJ. We got a great video for you today, but before we get into it, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications so you know when the next video comes out. Thank you guys, I really appreciate it. Now let's take a look at the chart. Okay, so pretty wild day today. Let's start off by looking at the SPY. So over the last 4 or 5 trading days, we are down about 3%, and that's really from the all-time high. Today we saw a low of 3.5%, so that's really what the pullback has been, and it looks like we're now finding support off of this 422 level. So that's good to see, because after selling off into the close on Friday, we fell below this support at 431 in after hours, and it didn't hold up this morning. We obviously had a very sharp drop at the open, but this has held all day. It was tested and tested and tested and tested all day, ended up holding up, getting a pretty strong bounce into the close, and now, like I said, we're back up a few percentage points into the 425 area. This support is fairly decent. It goes back to what was the all-time high at the time from May 7th, and it's been tested and tried a few times. Has held up, so hopefully we'll get a hold up there and we'll get headed back in the right direction for the S&P. Nasdaq wasn't quite as bad, but also a pretty steep pullback here. This is from and we talked about this a little bit. Some people are mentioning in the comments predicting a pullback on the Nasdaq. We essentially got all the way up to the top of this growth channel off of the move that we've seen over the past, this goes back to May 19th. The Nasdaq gained over 15% over the course of the past 2 months. So an incredible run for technology stocks overall. And then now, let's see, over the past 6 or 7 days, it looks like we've ended up falling about 3.5% and now bouncing a little bit here. Very similar to the SPY, except it's not a real, to me, it's not a real support line there. It's a little bit too new. We're kind of bouncing sort of before we get to the bottom of this growth channel. So we'll see what happens there. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a test at the bottom of this channel. And the Nasdaq might even pull back even further. But right now we seem to be okay. Seem to have strong bounces on both of those. VIX shot straight up. But again, the market's bounced. The VIX has fallen back after seeing 25 high of the day, pulling back now to 22. But that's pretty scary stuff. And I think most of this, the news that I'm reading is saying it's related to COVID variant scares. So it's kind of something that we've been dealing with on and off throughout the past year and a half now. It's a COVID thing. Is it over? And then it comes back. But keep in mind, it's only about a 2% pullback right now. Market's still in a very strong place. And Tesla actually had a pretty good day. I mean, we're green on the day considering. So it's really not too bad. It was a little scary this morning. So on Friday, we were kind of testing this recent growth trend line here and falling below it into the close. Certainly not what we wanted to see. After hours, kind of staying below that line and starting to follow this downtrend. And then this morning, very scary in pre-market. Ended up opening up, getting a little bit of a pop before coming down, essentially to test the support here around 620. Didn't quite get all the way down there before we turned around, and it saw quite a bit of strength, certainly leading the market to the upside throughout the rest of the day. Ended up closing green, one of the few stocks that did, and I think most notably making it back above this green trend line, which is our growth trend line. So it's still not in a great place, because technically we are below this long-term growth trend line, and we'll zoom out and look at those trends right now. So tomorrow is really going to be a big day. This will zoom out a little farther. This is a 4-hour 180-day chart, so we'll talk about this growth trend first. Again, we've mentioned this a lot recently. This goes back to the low from 519, which was around 545, and since then, we've had a few tests of this trend. Certainly recently on July 8th, where we got the huge strong bounce, where we again almost went all the way down to the 620 line, bounced straight up to come and test 695 3 days later. So a very strong bounce there. And then now it's been about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of this little downtrend pulling back again, and today was the final day. So it looks like we've broken that trend now. But we'll have to wait and see, as I said, tomorrow, because we do need to get back above this longer term downtrend line, which is the one that we've struggled with all year. This goes back to the all-time high on January 25th. So after breaking out, holding above it for a couple of weeks, falling and getting this bounce back above it, and then now trending down again for the last few days, we're back below this long-term downtrend line. And on this chart, we're still below the growth trend line, although I believe on that 30-day chart, yeah, we're back above it. Let's look at the 10-day chart. We are holding back above it. So sometimes it's harder to see on those longer terms, but any way you want to look at it, these trend lines are crossing right now, so only one of them can hold up. Is it going to be the short-term growth trend line to the upside, or this downtrend line that goes back to that all-time high? I would like to think that it's going to be the uptrend line. The market is still fairly strong even after a weak day today, and Tesla showing more strength than most, finishing green on the day. But tomorrow, I think we'll tell the tale. If we can't get back above the growth trend line, we could see more downside in the short to medium term. And if that happens, as opposed to riding this growth trend back up to another test of, say, the 766 level, we could be looking at another test of this 562 level. So tomorrow is a very, very big day, and it doesn't seem like it's going to depend a whole lot on the indexes. Tesla's been moving somewhat independently of them lately, which is interesting to see, because we're used to in the past seeing a pretty close correlation, especially with the SPY after the SPY inclusion, but not so much lately. Tesla struggled while the indexes have pushed higher and higher, and then now today, with the indexes pulling back sharply, Tesla gets a strong bounce and closes green on the day. So interesting to see what's going to happen tomorrow and which one of those trends is going to hold up. I think it could tell the tale for the next couple of months as far as which direction we're going to go. So very big day tomorrow, potentially. Hoping that the uptrend can hold up. And that's pretty much it, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like. It really helps out the channel. And subscribe if you enjoy my content. Comment below. Let me know what you guys think about the pullback on the market today. Are you concerned about the COVID variant situation? There was also the announcement of the full self-driving subscription service. So possibly that's leading to some of this bullishness. It's kind of an optional $200 monthly fee that people can opt into if they haven't already purchased the full self-driving package. And again, obviously this isn't true full self-driving. It's a beta version that has a lot more features that's closer to what the final product's going to actually be. So maybe that's part of it here, showing some resilience leading into that. If it's popular, it's $200 a month per Tesla vehicle. It could be significant revenue upside in the near future for if a lot of people pick up on that. But I don't know. It seems expensive. If you didn't buy the full self-driving option off the first place, are you really going to want to pay an extra $200 a month on top of your car payment and your insurance payment? I mean, some people will for sure, but I guess we'll see. Today, though, Tesla is showing some strength, so that's good to see for now. We'll have to wait and see what happens tomorrow. Thanks as always for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.